Hi, in today's video we are going to study about third feature extraction technique, that is linear discrimination analysis. In our previous video we have already covered principal component analysis and singular value decomposition. Let us quickly start with linear discrimination analysis, or simply LDA. To extract features from a given large feature space, we are interested in finding linear combination of features that characterizes or separates two or more classes of an object or an event. Objective of linear discrimination analysis, or LDA, is similar to PCA and SVD, that is, to find out or to transform our high dimensional data, which is consisting of n features, into a data set which is having lesser number of features, that is nothing but only k feature data set. But there is a huge difference between PCA and LDA. PCA only focuses on maximizing variability, that is maximizing variance among features of given data set, while LDA focuses on class separability. That means finding only those features that can characterize or categorize classes of data more independently or more effectively. Now let us understand the LDA with the help of an example. Say for example, we are given one data set, that is over the left hand side, as you can see, a table. Now here in a table, there are three features. First feature is nothing but type of infection. Second feature is nothing but CRP. And third feature is temperature given in centigrade. So here, as you can see, data sets or data points or rows or instances of data is actually categorized broadly into two different infections. So here we have two different classes of data set. First class is viral infection and second class is bacterial infection. Now first of all, we have to plot these data points over a two-dimensional graph, over which where x-axis is nothing but our temperature feature and y-axis is nothing but CRP feature. Now once we will plot these data, we will keep in mind that these orange data points are actually representing viral infection, while green data points are representing bacterial infection. Now, what is the purpose of, as you can see, these classes are not clearly separatable. That means I cannot define a group or class clearly which groups or which combines bacterial infection and it separates out viral infection from it. So I need to find out the clear classification or different classes. First of all, we will find out a border where we can separate out bacterial infection and viral infection. Then we will rotate this line along the data point such that it can be viewed vertically straight. So with this partition, I can see that over the left hand side of a given red line, there are all data points which contains viral infection. And over the right hand side of this given red line is bacterial infection data points. Now, as you can see, we have changed the name of axis from temperature to D1 dimension and from CRP to D2 dimension. Now let us look into next step. Here we will not going to use two different dimensions. We will remove one dimension and we will project all data points over one axis, that is over x-axis, which is nothing but dimension 1, D1. Now I will again rotate this dimension, so I will be able to view all data points vertically. So as you can see, the difference between this figure and this figure is nothing but rotation of an axis over 180 degree. Now, as you can see, I will represent this axis with something called as discriminant score. This discriminant score is nothing but giving a value of dimension 1. And how they are going to calculate it is with the help of one formula. That we will discuss it later on. After finding the first dimension discriminant score, we will find out the mean of all data points. Mean of data point is nothing but center point of all data points. So here we have all data points including viral infection and bacterial infection. We are going to find out the mean data point, and I will represent this data point with a single line. Linear discriminant is calculated as alpha 1 into x1 plus alpha 2 into x2. Here x1 and x2 are respectively our temperature and CRP. So here let me substitute values of x1 and x2 respectively. So first feature is CRP and second feature is temperature. I can select them or put them in any order. And here I will also find out the coefficient of temperature and coefficient of CRP with the help of a statistical method. So these values 0.11 and 0.70 is nothing but forming an equation of a line which was initially separating our data set of those points which are containing bacterial infection and viral infection. So over the first graph, when we have over the x-axis temperature and over the y-axis we had CRP, and we have drawn one red line. That red line equation is given by this particular equation. Now let us compare LDA with PCA. So linear discrimination analysis, if I have plotted, will be separating viral infection data points very well from bacterial infection data points. If I would have plotted same data points over two-dimensional axis, and I would have found out the first principal component analysis and later on second principal component analysis, and if I would have projected all data points to a single feature or single axis, my data points might look like the second diagram that is being denoted by PCA. Now, as you can see inside PCA, not all data points are clearly separated from one class to another class. They all are variable. They all are evenly distributed over one principal component or one principal dimension. Now, as you can see, these data points are maximum covariance. That means they are not getting together or jumbling up at one single point. They are getting equally distributed as maximum as possible. So PCA basically focuses on maximizing variability among data points. While we have different classes in a data points, we must go with LDA. That means separating data points of one class with separating data points of another class. Let us move forward. What do we mean by separation between groups? So we will calculate mean of two different groups. Here in this case we have only two groups. Group 1 is viral infection and group 2 is bacterial infection. But in any other data set we might have more than two classes. So we have to identify the center point of each and every class, which is called as mean of every data set. And that is what we call how groups are separated. What is the difference between two groups? The example of well-separated data looks like this, that all data points which belongs to one class are gathered more nearer to their mean. As you can see, this is the mean of first class, that is nothing but the class virus, and all these data points are more close to this mean. Similarly, this is the mean of bacteria class, that means mean of all data points which belong to bacteria class. And you can see all these data points are more near to the mean of the same class, that is bacteria class. So if data points are more close to the class mean, remember students, we basically have two different mean. A mean which is between two different class, that is mean between classes, and we have a mean within one class. So this black line is nothing but mean of first class, and this black line is a mean of another class, and this red dark line is mean of complete data set. So if we have different mean for different classes, then data points are closer to the mean is called as well separated data. So here we calculate mean of each group, and if that group mean is far away from each other, we say that it is a well separated data. But in another example, as you can see, the mean of these two groups are very close to each other. This data is not clearly separated. Another example, if data points of each group is close to its mean as given in our first diagram. So as you can see, the highlighted region is giving us a span of data points that are dedicated or that they belong to a particular class. So if data points of a group or a class, when they are close to their inter-class mean, we say it is a well separated data. Now another example where you can see means are very far from each other. As you can see, this class mean is here and this is another class mean. But as you can see, they are very far from each other. But all these data points that belongs to one class is not close to their mean. That means in this case we have data points that are spread widely across their interclass mean. So when data points are widely spread across interclass mean, we say that data is not clearly separated. So for clear data separation, we must have two different conditions. First condition says that the mean of each individual group must be far from each other, and second point says that every data points that belongs to particular group must be close to its intergroup mean. Now how to find out this spread of data points which are across mean or not? So we calculate spreading of data points across mean is with the help of variance. Now variance is calculated as S of I. Now here I stands for number of groups. If we have in this particular given diagram, we have only two groups. So we will calculate two variance. Variance for bacterial group and for virus group. So SI is nothing, I stands for number of groups or number of classes. And its variance S of I is calculated as summation of X, which is nothing but part of which belongs to data set DI. That means only that data set or data points which belongs to a particular group. Say for example group bacteria or group virus. From all data points which are part of given group data set, so we will combine all instances, that is nothing but up to n. We calculate x minus mi. Mi is nothing but mean of a given group I. So we have only two groups in a given diagram. That means we will have M1 and M2. Say for example, M1 stands for virus group and M2 is the mean given for bacteria group. If I would like to display or show you diagrammatically, this is my M1 and this is my M2. Now we will take difference from data point to the mean. Now as you can see, so here we take difference between data points to the mean. So as you can see, these data point is having larger than mean. So the difference between data point and mean will be positive. And here, as you can see, these data points are having value lesser than mean. So this value or the difference between data point and this mean would be negative. I want the summation of the differences. So if I will add positive differences with negative differences, I would not get correct set of differences. That's why I take the difference square. Now here, as you know, data points are represented in form of vectors. So instead of squaring them, I will take difference vector multiplied with difference vector with transpose. Now transpose of matrix is nothing but converting rows into columns and columns into rows. So as simple as that, instead of squaring a particular matrix, we are actually making transpose of a matrix. This is same as squaring the difference to avoid cancellation of positive and negative differences. So we will calculate difference of data points to mean and multiply its transpose, and we will sum up all these all those data points that belongs to particular group DI, and that will be called as variance SI. Likewise, we will calculate variance for each and every group. And we prepare something called as intra-class scatter matrix. Now, intra-class scatter matrix will give us how much data points are scattered in a particular group. So, it is represented as S of W. W stands for within group or within a particular class. So within is nothing but also intra-class, and this is giving us the scattering or the variance of data point across its mean. That's why we calculate, that's why we say it is intra-class scatter matrix. It is being denoted by S of W inverse. So S of W is calculated as summation from 1 to C. So here C is nothing but number of classes. In our given example, there are only 2 groups. So we will have summation example from 1 to 2. And we will add all the variances, matrices that we have just found out with the help of above given equation. Okay, so now we have set of variances. We know how to calculate it. And we will add up all those matrices, and whatever the matrix we will get, S of W, we will take its inverse, and that will be called as intra-class scatter matrix. Now let us move forward. The mean of complete data set is represented by this red line. As here you can see, this red line is actually mean of complete data set. We have to find out the difference between actual data set mean and group mean. So we have 2 different groups, so we will have 2 different mean. And complete data set will have only 1 mean. So here group mean variation from grand mean or complete data set mean is also calculated. So group mean is how it is different from inter-class mean. If it is having larger difference, we would say it is a well separated data. As you can see, we have again 2 different group means, and the difference between grand mean and group mean is very less. So here we can say data is not clearly separated. So in this case, as you can see, group mean variation from grand mean is very less as compared to our first example. Now inter-class scatter matrix is given as S of B. B stands for between groups. So S of B is calculated as summation from 1 to C. Here C is nothing but number of groups or classes. For each class we will calculate value and we will add them. N of I is nothing but number of data points in a given particular group. Here as you can see, my first group is containing 6 data points. Second group is also containing 6 data points. So for 2 of different terms we will have as Ni value as 6. So I repeat, Ni is nothing but number of elements or number of data points in a given group. and we will calculate the difference between group mean, that is MI, minus grand mean. So as you can see, one mean is above grand mean and another group mean is below the grand mean. So instead of squaring the term, here we are having vectors. So in order to produce matrix, we will multiply a vector with its transpose. So it will ultimately give us a matrix. So we will multiply vector which is giving difference between mean of a group with grand mean, and we will multiply a vector with its transpose, and in order to produce interclass matrix S of B. So let us summarize the steps of LDA. LDA is calculating eigenvalues and eigenvectors which are used interclass and intraclass scatter matrices. First step is in LDA is to calculate mean vectors of an individual class. Second step is to calculate interclass and intraclass matrices. Remember, intraclass is within group, that is S of W, and interclass is between groups, which is called as S of B. And we calculate eigenvalues and eigenvectors for S of W inverse and S of B, as with Mi is our mean vector of a class I. S of W is calculated I is equal to 1 up to number of classes or group C, summation of Si. And Si is summation of data point X which belongs to a particular group, that is D of I, data set having a particular group from 1 to n data points. So we are here interested in only those data points which belongs to particular group over a set of n data set points. S of I is given as X belonging to Di up to n, X minus Mi, that is difference from data point to its mean, multiplied in this vector with its transpose, that is X minus Mi transpose. Similarly, S of B, which is nothing but interclass matrix, is calculated from summation I is equal to 1 to C. That is nothing but C is nothing but number of groups and I is nothing but number of samples or number of data points in a particular class, multiplying group mean, that is Mi minus grand mean. That is nothing but a vector which is getting multiplied by its transpose to produce a complete matrix. So S of B is summation I1 to C Ni into Mi minus n into Mi minus n transpose. So at the end we will have S of B as a interclass matrix. And here with these two different matrices, S of W inverse and S of B, we are going to identify top k eigenvectors or top k eigenvalues. That will give us the only selected features or selected dimension which can clearly separate out different classes or groups. That is all for today. Thank you everyone for watching this video. This is Muniratopia signing out.